Secretary of State Rex Tillerson today denounced Russia for enabling Syrian dictator Bashar al-Assad, saying the Kremlin bears responsibility for the victims of chemical warfare across Syria. That statement by the Secretary of State comes a day after a chlorine gas attack on a town outside Damascus. More than a dozen civilians were injured, most of them children. Joining me now, retired four-star General Jack Keane, chairman of the Institute for the Study of War, Fox Business senior strategic analyst. General Jack Keane. General, good to have you with us.
Good to be here, Lou.
This is like I don't know, it's a retreat into the past suddenly. Syria now with a chemical gas attack by Assad again. What in the world are we going to do? The Russians we thought were in hand, and now their proxy is doing as he wishes, which is destroying the lives of women and children.
Well, the fact is the Iranians and the Russians propped up the Assad regime successfully. The regime is going nowhere. They're going to be able to stay in power. It's a fantasy when people in the administration believe that there'll be a political process in Geneva to resolve this to the world's favor. Not happening. This thug and killer, Assad, war criminal that he is staying in power. And we don't really have a strategy to deal with. Our strategy in Syria is focused on defeating ISIS. We've done a good job of that. But we really don't have any strategy to deal with the rest of it, which is the bigger problem.
And the bigger problem is, of course, Russia. What are we to do in contending with two large powers, global powers, that is Russia and China, with separate interest and also extraordinary common interest, that is in competing against the United States?
Well, there's some good news here. The administration in their national security strategy and now in the Secretary of Defense's national defense strategy, they have both identified the world the way it really is, in my view. They backed away completely from the Obama's view of the world. They have identified Russia and China as two revisionist powers. Mm-hmm. We're in big power competition with them, and they want to destroy the international order that the United States have established for 70 years, and that we have to have strategies to push back on them. We've got to be willing to confront them. That is great news, because that is the truth. That is the way the world is.
And that truth also entails, as you pointed out on this broadcast numerous times, that means we've got to have an economy growing at the rate this economy grew in the fourth quarter of last year, the trajectory that this president has set us upon. But it also means immensely more money for our military and investment in technology and weaponry. How close are we to being there? We just watched an idiotic charade take place on Capitol Hill, where they couldn't even agree on a budget.
Well, we've gone another month now with a continuing resolution, so that'll be 5 months. We're supposed to appropriate what the authorizers have given the president, and he signed, which is a $700 billion budget. That's almost close to an 8% increase, right, which is good news. That will be the start of rebuilding the military. But as long as you're using a continuing resolution, that means we're operating off of last year's money. And last year's money gave us only 5 out of 58 brigades combat ready. 50% of all aircraft are not flying due to lack of spare parts. Navy ships colliding into one another because we're overstressing our sailors and we're not training them improperly. And the smallest military in 75 years. That's what the continuing resolution continues. So we got to get a budget. And Congress has got to do it.
Mitch McConnell and Speaker Ryan even look at themselves in the mirror? How is it that anyone could call themselves a leader, a speaker, a person of immense responsibility in this great government of ours?
Because defense is not a top priority for them. If it was, they would pass the appropriations bill, suspend the budget caps that are keeping the money down to the Obama-level standards, put it at the top of the list, and say the #1 job of the United States government is to protect and defend the nation. And we are doing it so inadequately for so many years now, we have got to fast forward the money quickly and start rebuilding the military. What's the sad thing here is somebody has to tell the president He hasn't appropriated a dime of new money to rebuild the military. He keeps saying that you guys, when he talks to the troops, you're getting new equipment, we're rebuilding the military. No, not true. Hasn't started yet. Why? Congress hasn't passed the bill to appropriate the money.
Because, amongst others on Capitol Hill, Chuck Schumer refuses to follow this president's lead, and he has priorities that have nothing to do with the national interest. General Jack Keane always has the national interest in view. We appreciate it. General, great to see you.